back with Shelby Hodge here on Houston Legends, brought to you by the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Well, Shelby, thanks again for joining us. Congratulations. You truly are a Houston legend.
Thank you very much.
And you've made so many contributions. And speaking of these contributions, it must be very difficult to process your calendar in terms of which events you'll cover, which events you'll send staff to. What's your process?
I should have brought my calendar. You wouldn't believe it. It's got all these things on there.
Yeah.
And it is actually very difficult because I really want to help every organization that's doing their good works in the city, and their fundraisers are very important. And also, if I'm able to provide them some coverage, it helps legitimize what they're doing.
Of course.
And I feel a real strong sense of responsibility for that.
Yes.
So I truly try to take care of everybody, but I can't go to every event. And so those are based on the scope of the event. For example, President Obama is coming to Rice University, and I will certainly be there to cover that for their Rice Baker Institute dinner. And then sometimes they're like the small things, you know, a Salvation Army event that really grabs your heart. You know, and I try to keep it different and not the same thing all the time. Different kinds of events.
Yeah, because you could be in an event or several per night every day if you chose to.
Right, that's exactly right. So many luncheons and evening events, and it really is hard to determine. But I really base it on the interest of the readers, what's going to grab their attention, and the value of what this group is doing and how important this particular event is to them and their bottom line.
What are some of the changes that you've noticed as it relates to galas and some of these fundraisers over the years?
To start with, the number has increased at least 100%, probably more and more. And actually, as the population of Houston has changed, we've had a much greater influx of internationals that are becoming very involved in all levels. And then they're also creating their own events like Pratham, which is an Indian, they raise money for readership and education in India. It's great. It's a wonderful thing. They raise millions of dollars. So the ethnic color has changed, which makes it more interesting, as the city does. And then the old guard that used to control everything has just sort of slipped away because there are more people coming in with the money to do things, with the interest to do things, to support the hospitals, to support education. And overall, even though it gets busier by the day for me and crazier, it's a great thing for the city. It's just great.
It absolutely well is that a continuum, right?
Exactly.
Of, old money, new causes, and then those that are, you know, just for Houston, those, you know, that will never go away, that will always be very important to our community.
Right.
So how do you get to figure out, you know, what the newest group is in town? Like, what's your intelligentsia on all of this?
Well, people know how to get a hold of me.
Okay, so they find you typically and send you information.
Plenty of emails.
Something will catch your eye.
Right, and then sometimes if it's something new and people want to meet with me and talk about it, I will. I don't always have the time to do that, but I really like to give everybody a chance to present what they're doing and what their interests are. And oftentimes it's really just discussion via email. But and I keep my nose to the ground. You know, when I'm out at one event,
you're looking, you're watching,
and watching this group over there, and really trying to keep my finger on a lot of things.
The pulse of it. And, and with the city this size now, soon to be the third largest. What do you anticipate is going to be the way to do this for people who, you know, may be moving into this field of journalism, not necessarily society, but just journalism?
It's all changed so much. It's really changed. You know, the newspapers are not what they used to be at all. There's a much smaller group of readership, and actually even in organizations such as the Huffington Post or Culture Map or Paper City or any of these digital publications, the format is no longer having a full staff. It's having freelance writers that contribute. So someone making a full-time, lifetime career out of journalism, those opportunities are going to be fewer and further between than they were in the past. So I think you're really going to have to dig in, and you're going to have to rise to the top of the cream in order to be able to make a full-time, lifetime career. It's just not like it was anymore.
Wasn't, but you've certainly been able to accomplish this. So I'm curious, you graduated from college. Who gave you your first big break?
Well, right out of school, I went to work for Hart Hanks Newspapers, a chain out in South Texas, West Texas, and I was in Corpus Christi for 2 years. came to Houston to work for the Houston Post, where I was the travel editor, and I would say that was a major break. That was fabulous. So for 10 years, I traveled all over the world writing travel stories. And then I got married and decided it was not a good idea to travel so much anymore. So I quit that, did a little something here, and then when the Chronicle's Society editor, Betty Ewing, retired, they came to me and they said, well, how many, would you like to do this? I said, okay. I asked, how many nights a week? Do you think I'd have to be out? Oh, 2 or 3. Well, now if I'm home,
2 or 3 events per night.
If I'm home 3 nights a week, that's a miracle. But but I really enjoy it, even after all these years. I love the people I get to meet, and I love that feeling of helping, you know, somehow the community.
Well, and you are certainly, because you put a spotlight on so many of these organizations, their fundraising, and just Houston, it's just a philanthropic city, and there are always new ways and new organizations, and you've been part of that growth. And so that's one of the many reasons why we wanted to recognize you as one of our Houston legends.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for all you do. We enjoy seeing, you know, all of the folks that you cover, and for always making sure that you're putting that spotlight on Houston.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us here on the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce program, Houston Legends. I'm Dr. Laura Murillo. Have a great day.